You think MSNBC is far out during the week? You should see the weekends. It's pretty, what's the word, effervescent. On a Sunday panel over there on MSNBC, Joy Reid and her colleagues conjured up a vision. What if, and follow the logic now, President Trump is impeached, convicted, and then simply refuses to leave office?
What happens, in all seriousness, what happens if Donald Trump, if he just says, you know what, if I leave this office, I might get prosecuted in New York, I ain't leaving. So, and what would happen? Well, because he keeps joking about it. Yeah. But, you know, dictatorships happen all over the world when the person who jokes about not leaving doesn't leave. Yeah. When he talks about himself, he says that everyone who speaks to him says, sir. They always address him as sir. He speaks sort of like Mussolini.
If Donald Trump were to go out in the country and campaign, I deserve a third term, he will get support of his base, and this should scare everyone who believes in our republic.
They'll just go into the street and they'll say, yes, you are supposed to have your third term.
When he thinks I'm pardoning war criminals, so if I have to overstay my presidential term, I'm going to call on the military and they're going to rise up to help me.
So there's a slide toward a belief in authoritarianism and wanting and preferring a king.
It's just too awesome. By the way, just rule of thumb, if you ever get a call from a booker at the Joy Reid MSNBC Weekend Show, take it as the insult it's meant to be. It's really the lowest level. So just to be clear, as a factual matter, though, since this is a news channel, Trump has never threatened to refuse to leave office if he's convicted in an impeachment trial, which, of course, he won't be. He definitely has not threatened to launch a military coup. This is all part of the elaborate fantasy currently underway in Joy Reid's head, the one where the FBI is investigating a plot where her computer was hacked or whatever. In any case, it's a fantasy that others are eager to join. But it got weirder even than what we showed you. Joy Reid then went on to speculate about what would happen if Trump won re-election by having Russia rig the votes in Vermont.
Let's say on election night, it's announced that Donald Trump won Vermont. And everyone knows that's not possible. But somehow, because we have outside influences that get involved in the election, that is the way that he claims that he won the election. What can the public do about it if they believe that the election was not legitimate?
Look, is peyote legal in some parts of the southwestern United States? Apparently. Do you have to eat the buttons before hosting a show? No, you shouldn't. You just shouldn't. It's just wrong. Author and columnist Mark Steyn joins us tonight, having watched what you just saw. Mark, what do you make of that?
Well, you know, I laughed it off, but I gather that 37 town clerks in small Vermont towns with populations below 500, 37 Vermont town clerks have recently acquired dachas in Russia. So Putin may already have this sewn up. You know, Joy Reid has finally figured it out. While the Democrats have been distracted investigating Trump for stealing the 2016 election, he's already stolen the 2024 election. That's how smart he is. You know,
wait, so it's like a hopscotch step. He's jumping over the current election to steal the next one.
Yeah, and they just haven't figured it out. You said that this was like the Salem witch trials before the break. It's actually like the medieval ducking stool, where if the woman went under the water and came up breathing, that proves she was a witch. If the woman drowned, that proves she was innocent, but she was already dead, so it's no great shakes. The only evidence that Trump stole the election is that he won the election. In the Democrats. So the Democrats, for the Democrats, the only way that Trump can prove he's innocent on the ducking stool is actually to lose an election. These guys have already baked in the fact that he's going to win again, and then they're already lost in paranoid fevers of him staying in power. You know, you said something that basically they could just put up as a title card for the whole hour. You said something a couple of weeks ago, that the left always accuses the right of what they're doing. And that's exactly when Joy Reid talks about not accepting the result of the 2024 election, that's her 8 years on.
It's really... I do wonder how that FBI investigation into her hacked computer is going. I have a note on my desk to follow up, but you get busy.
No. Don't worry, Comey will really get it in the next report. Don't
I hope
worry.
so. I hope so. The great Mark Steyn. Great to see you tonight.
Thanks, Tucker.